and welcome to the start of our 48-hour weekend readathon with me and my friends. This is a different setting. You can see my incredibly messy office right now. I need to clean it. My life has been a wreck. This week has been all productivity, but in things that had nothing to do with the house. Things like taxes or like military paperwork and all sorts of stuff like that. So my life is a disaster. Just ignore this, roll with it. I will look better after this video. So anyways, this is, it started at 1 o'clock Central Time for me because the readathon started in Mountain Standard Time. So I didn't get home until pretty much exactly 1 o'clock. I finished editing my late as usual February TBR video. I have dealt with a bunch of phone calls in the past hour and I did not get to start reading yet, so I am a lot peeved about that. So let's walk you guys through what I am reading this weekend. I am working on 4 books currently. Normally I'm reading 3 books at once, but I had a lot of things come up all at the same time. So I will go over these in an ideal world, and like the ultimate ideal world where I somehow managed to finish these or some of these. I think even in an ideal world we know I'm not finishing these, all of them. But if I do manage to finish a couple, I guess I'll go over the ideal, like what I would start next. So I am working on A Court of Wings and Ruin with a little cameo from Cast in Firelight bookmark. I haven't read it yet, but I'm hyped to get it soon. So this is A Court of Wings and Ruin. I am reading this as a reread. I actually came upstairs because I have never tabbed before, and I got these like a decade ago when I was a freshman in college and thought that I would need them for textbooks, but I never did. So I'm hoping to use those. I have that, and I'm doing that as a reread because I got A Court of Silver Flames, which I haven't unboxed yet. It's sitting on the dog's kennel. So there we are. And then when I'm not working on that, I will be working on my ebook. I am on the launch team for Dark Uprising, which is book 2 of a trilogy by Autumn and Birt. So I am going through the first half of the book right now and just kind of like helping find anything that needs to be edited before it becomes an arc, or before it gets published. With A Court of Wings and Ruin, I am on chapter 7, which is page 50. So I think I'm not even 10% done, I think. And then with Dark Uprising, let's see. With Dark Uprising, I am 41% done. I also will hopefully be more energized throughout this readathon. I'm planning on getting lots of caffeine. So when I am through those, I read these like a chapter at a time. So this book is really pissing me off, and if you've read it, you would understand why. But the next one that I am reading is Gemina, which I have as an audiobook as well. And again, another shout out to, I'm gonna lose my page, Cast in Firelight for this pre-order campaign, because this bookmark is going perfectly. Thank you. That's by Dana Swift, by the way, if you want to check it out. I'm like 10% of the way in. It's a buddy read with my brother Noah, and it's also Melody's pick for our group reading challenge. The 4th book is The Stolen Kingdom by Jillian Boehme, which is also on my February TBR, and that is an arc that comes out, I know it gets archived on NetGalley, I think March 2nd. I'll have to look into that. I'll put it down below. But it is a historical fiction. I don't really know anything else except that one of the main characters, I believe, has magical powers and or can wield magic, and the other main character, I think there's just 2, I think he's the prince. So I'm already getting vibes that this is like kind of like, it kind of reminds me of like Merlin right now. I'm here for it. And I am, let's see how far I am into that. I am only 3% into The Stolen Kingdom, so basically 0. So these books, I've pretty much just started all of them. Yes, so that's where we're at in an ideal world, like a very, 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 very ideal world, that I finish one of these. The next one that I would be starting is Love at First by Kate Clayborn, because this one comes out in March of 2021, and I already have another bookish first read over here that I need to get to. So I'm really hoping to start this, and yes, that is all that I have planned. Non-bookish things that I want to accomplish this weekend. I have not been doing a good job at self-care because I've been working on so many things that have been so stressful to me this week. And so once per hour, like after each sprint, I want to do something self-care related. It could be really simple, like drinking my bottle of water, or like doing a nice hair mask, or an exercise routine, or spending time with the dogs, anything like that. Just things that nourish my mind or body. That sounds like an Instagram influencer. Oh my god, I'm sorry. I want to try one new recipe for sure. It is a rigatoni recipe with my Instant Pot, because I got this cookbook from my parents for Christmas and I really want to try it. I really want to get my March TBR figured out for both my readathon, the Breezy Hollow readathon, and Tis the Damn Readathon. Yeah, I think that's right. Tis the Damn Readathon, which is a Taylor Swift readathon. So Taylor Swift and Animal Crossing are my plans for March. I'm really screwed that Becca decided that she may do a readathon in March as well, because Becca's readathons from Becca with Becca in the Books are like my favorite readathons of all time. So I'd have to do that too. So we're gonna do the least amount of books possible in case we end up having Bookopoly in March. So that's where we're at. So 4 books, self-care, recipe, March TBR, and I also need to get 1 to 2 videos uploaded this weekend. So prayer circle for me, please, because your girl is struggling. But that's what I have planned. I'm gonna let you guys go now, and I've only, so far we're on hour 2, and I have listened to 5 minutes of Illuminate basically before I had to go outside, and then I read like a single page of A Court of Wings and Ruin, because that was the whole section. So I am now going to work on chapter 9 of Dark Fate Outcast, and I will try and check back in as often as possible, but we'll see how that goes. Bye guys. I, as usual with weekend readathons, did not film my progress reports, and I think we should just get used to the fact that I'm just not going to. So this is a disaster when it comes to organization, and I thought somewhere I had written the statistics that I was at when I started, but I didn't. So when I'm editing this video, I will do the math, because I said in the first video how much I read this weekend. But this is my recap of where I'm at now, and some quick thoughts on the progress that I've made, and then I'll do all the math and we'll just talk enough that I can put it all down here below in the subtitles about how much I read. Whatever this number is here, I'm really surprised that I managed to do all of this and not get distracted. So I'm really proud of myself for whatever this number is. Anyways, let's get into it. First, I was working on A Court of Wings and Ruin, which, as you can see, I did not get very far with this book. So I generally read, okay, sorry, forgot to mute. So I generally read one section or chapter at a time, and this book, the sections are very short, and then I rotate to the next book. So like right here, that is the entire section, and then I would switch to the next book. So I didn't get very far, but I did start tabbing. This one yellow was just like a quote that I liked, and then all of these orange ones are scenes between Feyre and Lucien when she is like intentionally, I don't want to spoil it actually, scenes of tension between Feyre and Lucien, which like I don't obviously ship it, but I ship the dynamic that was happening. I don't know how to explain it. And just like the kind of, it's like the trope princess and her knight instead of princess and arranged marriage, if that makes sense. And that's kind of like what I'm working on, and I found it inspiring for my work in progress that's mostly in my head at the time being. But yeah, so I thought I would top it for inspiration. And so I didn't get very far in that. I'm on page 103 I think right now, so we'll see, we'll crunch the numbers on that, but I didn't even like move up a 10% on Goodreads. The next book that I was working on was Dark Uprising by Autumn and Birt. That one is it was an e-arc, but it was kind of like a pre-arc because she had sent it off to an editor and then it needed to go to a second editor. So I was providing edit suggestions that the first editor had missed. So that took a lot of time because I wasn't only reading it, but I was also typing up like, here's the error I found on this page, here's what I would put differently, here's how I would reword the sentence. So yes, so I did finish that. The Stolen Kingdom by Jillian Boehme, I just got to 20% on. So I think I was at about 18% when the weekend ended. I didn't get very far in that one, but I find it very interesting. It's a historical fiction. There are powers, magical powers, and I'm very into that. And there are two like opposing sides, and I think it may be some kind of like enemies to lovers still, so I'm really enjoying. But the interesting thing here is I've been tabbing whenever people die. And it's a lot. So that is it for what I read. But because I finished Dark Uprising Part 1, that gave me the opportunity to get to Love at First by Kate Clayborn today. And I am like 14 pages in. So I'm so excited that I get to start this. I've actually started now over half of my February TBR. So unless I finish all of Gemina like today, then I'm probably just admitting defeat after this book, and I've already made my March TBR. So that's how much I got done reading this weekend. So since this is a squad readathon, I will update. So now I have read Nicoletta's pick and I have read Martine's pick in January, possibly today. I have pink pants on so that I can do my Pink Imposter wrap up in case I get to it. And then I am reading Melody's pick with Gemina, which leaves Bailey's pick, Stage's pick, and Nessa's pick. All three of those have been moved to my March TBR and are secured as prompts in both the Breezy Hollow Readathon prompts and the Tis the Damn Readathon Taylor Swift Readathon prompts. So hopefully I really stick to that, and I will try my best to start my March TBR with one of those books. But it has been a very fun weekend. We also got to sprint with Sarah from Sarah's Shelf, so check out her YouTube channel down below. I'm super excited to do that myself. And I think that's pretty much it here for my reading this weekend. I ate so many snacks, but I also managed to do self-care activities like I wanted. I've been drinking a lot of water, which you can kind of tell like I'm not wearing makeup and my face is clearing up, and that's awesome. And I've been getting good sleep and everything like that. So even though I didn't get to update you guys as in like little segments, it was really, I think, good for like my mental and emotional health to just kind of turn off social media other than our Discord server this weekend and just read. That was really nice, and it's been beautiful outside. So we got to go for a walk with the dogs and everything like that. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have used that word. Okay, she didn't notice. But yeah, so that is pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for checking in, and I hope that you have a really great week.